Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome back to the TNT podcast. It's been a minute episode.
It's been longer than a minute. It's been
a lot of minutes.
It's been 2 minutes, maybe even 3 at max.
It's been 25 minutes. We have been gone for quite some time, but we are back for probably for it to be gone for a while again. But but we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. But who's going to be talking about it? Well, let me tell you, it's me, but on my left.
Oh, it's Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
Wait, Friedman, you're on the right.
Oh shit! Sorry, I just usually go second. I don't actually pay attention to what direction I'm in.
Yeah, I wasn't even half paying attention, so I was gonna fuck up anyway. But
So on his other left is
other
left and the other left.
Just Tyler.
Woo.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are here with a whole bunch of scattershot news and updates from the last month or so.
I tried to reshuffle it so we can keep like certain companies together here.
Yeah. But we'll just jump right into it because we got a whole lot to cover. So, speaking of big gaming companies, there's the big one from Japan, Nintendo.
Let's do alphabetical order for these Japanese companies first and do Nintendo.
Damn.
Oh, I thought you were gonna jump.
Oh, no, I was just interrupting. I thought you were saying. Anyway,
Tyler's game of the year, Tears of the Kingdom, has released.
What? It's my game of the year.
What are you talking about? Resident Evil 4 already? It came out like a while.
Resident Evil 4.
I know.
Came out.
I am.
Yo, not gonna lie either. What the game I'll talk about later though. Yeah, that shit. It's gonna be close this year. But
all I can say, like, I haven't played Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom yet, but it sounds like literally everyone else on the internet is playing this game.
Me neither.
And most of what I got from Breath of the Wild was through memes, so my only exposure to this game is just everyone committing war crimes with the new building mechanic.
Yes, that's what you do.
Outside of that,
what you do is you build a stealth bomber, right?
Step one, you build a stealth bomber.
Yeah, step 1, you build a stealth bomber. Step 2, war crimes. Step 3, profit. But it's like it's interesting. I've heard people say some wild shit about it, like Breath of the Wild was the prototype, and then this is like that's beta compared to this game, and I'm like, I don't know if I agree. I've heard
more people saying kind of the same thing, but not to like trash on Breath of the Wild. It's more that people are saying this feels like an expansion rather than a sequel.
Oh, that's an absolute given, I think.
Yeah, because there's like it's a lot of the same stuff. Like I'm playing with Michelle, and that's like kind of what we're saying. Like it all just kind of feels like the same. Like the story structure is the same.
Mm-hmm.
How you go from place to place is the same.
So like it's literally Breath of the Wild too.
Yeah, like it's not like it went up graphically. Like, all right, I'm gonna be real. This game looks like fucking dog shit. Like,
dude, keep in mind this is being played on what's now an 8-year-old mobile processor.
Yeah, I'm aware, and guess what? I'm not like I don't think it's good.
Oh no, I'm not saying you should give it brownie points. I'm just like putting into context like why it has to look this way.
I know, and it really bothers me because like I just got off playing Resident Evil 4 and Jedi Survivor. That looks fantastic, and now I'm fucking playing this game, and I'm like. And the worst part is, like, I'm saying to everybody, I was like, this game, like, it looks like it can look nice, right? Like, you could tell that they really tried, but because I'm playing on a fucking toaster, it's a problem.
Wait, are you playing it on the toaster, or are you trying to play it on a toaster inside of a Steam Deck?
Well, I'm trying to play it on my shiny toaster, my brave little toaster, but
brave little toaster.
The problem is apparently there's been some not so good copies
of happening?
Tears of the Kingdom coming out. What's happening?
What?
No, sorry, my audio is screwing up, and I thought it was my computer, but it was just my stupid connector. Never mind, keep going.
No, technical difficulties.
Yes, but not a.
But yeah,
classic TNT podcast.
Yes.
Classic. But yeah, no, that's Like so I'm not trying to get my deck infected with
You're trying to get an electric STD.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to do that because I was gonna, and like, honestly, I honestly wanted to risk it. I wanted to risk it so bad because I'm like, this game looks terrible, and I know it can look much better.
Oh, I know it
Also,
could look
like,
weird.
there's so much stuttering. There's so much.
Is there really?
I would, yeah, I would argue that this like game runs worse than Breath of the Wild.
Damn.
Really? See, a lot of the
Yeah,
reports I heard were like, this is
no,
running like
mm-mm,
steady
fucking
30 unless
false,
the physics go
false,
real busy.
Oh, actually, hold up. Question about this: are you playing mostly in handheld or docked?
docked.
All right, never mind.
Yeah,
I
I
rescind my
I
argument.
wouldn't have asked that because I just would assume Tyler wouldn't be playing because if Tyler's playing a handheld, it's just the Steam Deck instead.
Big fucking facts. So the thing is too, Michelle's also so like we've been playing it. So like we've been like, oh, she'll take it off the dock, and like I've been playing like just cleaning up some stuff in like Jedi Survivor and like some other shit. And like she still gets those performance issues like even in handheld. So it's like it's just like it's when it's like popping stuff in and out or like when you're going really fast for like some things or when
Oh, like, it
a
doesn't
bunch of
handle distance
items
well.
are on screen. Yeah, it starts to like fucking itself. Do you guys know about the blood moon?
Yeah, it resets everything.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but do
the
you
what?
understand why? Oh, so you know what the blood moon is, Freeman?
No, I don't.
You played so I wait, I thought you played at least some Breath of the Wild.
That's correct. I've played zero Legend of Zelda outside of the first 1/3 of Twilight
Yeah,
Princess.
Oh shit, never
I'm the one who
mind.
played all. I beat Breath of the Wild.
Oh, well, I
Yeah.
thought Freeman played
Nah,
some.
nah, nah, I'm a fake
Okay.
Nintendo fan.
I got the
Fake
motorcycle.
Nintendo fan. Okay, so the Blood
Okay.
Moon. Okay. So I'm explaining. Well, you know it's fine. I gotta explain it for the fans at home. So the Blood Moon, right? The Blood Moon, like Zelda comes out, starts fucking talking shit. Basically,
Starts talking shit.
yeah, like everything respawns in the world, right? All the enemies, everything. What I didn't know about the Blood Moon and its real function is that there's only so much cache data
Yes.
that the Steam can, or not the Steam, oh my god, the Switch can take, that the Blood Moon comes around to reset everything.
Yep.
And
You're fucking
everybody's
kidding me.
like, yeah, everybody's like, why is the Blood Moon coming around so, like, much more often? It's because this fucking game is poorly optimized. There,
I
I said
don't know if I'd say poorly optimized. I would say it's optimized actually.
Optimized for poor hardware.
Well, yeah. To me,
Yeah.
the other stuff I've heard makes it sound like this is literally the best this game could ever run on a Switch. Like the fact that a game with this much this is like running Gary's mod on the Switch. Like the fact that so much physics stuff is happening on a Switch seems
Mhm.
incredible.
I
Not that
don't
it,
know.
not like just in that it's impressive. Not that it should have been done this way. You know, if Nintendo
Sure.
ever had better hardware, then it would just solve the problem. But
You know, fine. I'll give it that. I'll give it that. But I still don't remember it
that
being
doesn't mean
like
it's running well. I'm just saying it's running as
yeah,
well as it possibly can.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no, it do be chugging though, and I'm not a fan of that. It is an unsteady 30 FPS. I don't care what anybody says.
Mm.
And you know what? This is coming from I'm a Zelda dick rider through and through. I have a fucking Zelda tattoo, and I'm here to tell you that
I'm
this game
here
don't
to
perform
tell
well.
you.
Now, now, like, here's the other thing though. Don't hear what I'm not, or like, listen to what I'm not saying. This game is fun. Like, this game is
Good.
really fun. So like, for where it counts, it's at least a lot of fun. Like, like goofing around, like making really stupid stuff, or like coming up with like clearly the not right way to finish a puzzle. Like, it's fun and it's
Like
funny.
challenging yourself to break the game in your own way.
Yeah, like it is fun. Like if you watch Donkey's video on it, it's literally like you just do shit on accident sometimes, or you're
Like I
like,
told you on Sunday, Tyler, he just spends half that second video trying to ring that bell.
yeah, like it's just like it's funny. It's just really funny and like and like and the funny part is too like cuz like is has been like talking to my friends about like, oh, what did you do to get past this? Like, oh my god, like Tyler, how did you get past this? And I'm like, you do it like this. They're like, what? I totally didn't do it like that. Well, how did you do it? I did it like this. I'm like, what are you, a fucking crayon eater? Like, what? And vice versa. Because then they ask if I'm the crayon eater sometimes, and I'm like, yes, I am. So yeah, Tears of the Kingdom is fun. We haven't beaten it yet. It's gonna take a bajillion years because Michelle wants to collect everything.
Of
Um,
course.
yeah. So
I've got to ask the quick yes or no question here. Is it
yes.
better? Is it better than Breath of the Wild?
I'm gonna say yes. Only because the building stuff is really hilarious.
Gotcha.
Also, like, the dungeons are more like dungeons this time around. They're still basically like Breath of the Wild dungeons, but like at least they're more themed and they have like character to it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Breath of the Wild, where like you went to each one and they were basically all the fucking same. But these, like, the water temple is clearly the water temple. Like, it has running water. You do water shit. The air temple, like, the air temple's kind of basic. I think that was like meant to be like the first one maybe, but like there's that. The Goron temple that you saw with the bells, right? Like that you did minecart like earth shit. Like they actually like feel like it's an actual thing. So yeah, but based off that, I would say that it is better than Breath of the Wild at least.
Nice. But
Yeah,
it doesn't have a motorcycle. Yeah,
doesn't
you
have
can
motor.
build a motorcycle, but
Actually,
like you
yeah, it's
don't.
like you can build. Who the fuck cares about motorcycle? I can build Metal Gear. I can build a weapon to surpass Metal Gear. Like what?
Metal Gear.
That's true. Seeing the video of someone basically piloting Star Wars starfighters was pretty cool.
Right? Yo, what the? This is such a good segue, and I want to use it.
Nah, we can't. We gotta
Why
we gotta
can't we?
preserve the order. But I don't want to talk about the state of the play yet.
Fine. Then we'll double back on Nintendo because they're fucking
No, we
pieces of
gotta get
shit.
through. I need to continue listing Nintendo's failures before we
Yeah,
talk about the
why are
good
they pieces
news.
of shit? Tell them why. Tell them
So,
why. Tell them
so,
why.
so this. I don't want to defend Nintendo this argument, but I am gonna present their legal opinion in a way that makes sense if you're Nintendo.
Oh,
So,
good. I love legal.
so like 3 weeks ago, the GameCube Wii emulator Dolphin announces they're gonna have an official Steam release. To which everyone all collectively paused and said, "Uh-oh, what's Nintendo gonna do here?" Because while emulation isn't inherently illegal, um, for most emulators, you need to provide some type of identification key for the machine you're running on. When I'd set up Yuzu for Steam Deck, it was kind of like it was a hassle to try and figure out how to get my own keys from my Switch, only to learn that you can't get them for certain model numbers or certain firmware updates you're on because Nintendo does not want you doing this. But specifically for like the Wii emulators, you need something to indicate what your like Wii system ID is and your identification keys. In order to make Dolphin more accessible to the average person, where you just download and just start playing games, they bundle them with the emulator, which technically makes it illegal because you're distributing that little bit that you shouldn't be allowed to. And so that gives Nintendo enough to come in and say, "Hold up, you can't do that." And while if they said that you can't illegally distribute stuff like that, like if you wanted to, use your own, like you have to do for Yuzu emulator, I would get that. But Nintendo sends out an official statement. At least I think the way the story went was Steam was concerned about a lawsuit, so they reached out to Nintendo for a statement. And Nintendo's official statement on it was that this type of software shouldn't be allowed to be hosted because it, in Nintendo's words, stifles creativity.
Yep.
And I took
Stifles creativity.
I took a long pause. I'm like, this is the most corporate bullshit I've ever heard. And then I stopped for a second. I said, what if they truly do believe it stifles creativity or innovation? And I paused. I'm like, why would they think that? And then it suddenly hit me. If Nintendo wants you to be a Mario fan, they don't want you to buy all the Mario games that ever came out. They just want you to buy the one Mario game that they're currently selling. And if you
Just
have
all of them.
easy right now, it's not. They had a limited time offer on the Mario collection. Right now, the only Mario game they're selling
What about
is
through the digital store?
oh, sorry, what do they have on there? I mean, sorry, I'm just thinking like take the current Switch generation of games. Those are the ones that they want you buying. Everything that's out on Switch now. I know like they do let you emulate the old ones through what is it, Nintendo Switch Online Plus, whatever the fuck it is, but they treat emulation like the redheaded stepchild of their entire product line. The point is they want you playing the latest and greatest so that when you say I want to play Mario, it's like, okay, well come buy our new shiny thing. The newest greatest Mario we can think of. We don't want you looking back. We don't want you trying to buy the old shit. That's the old shit. Buy the new stuff. And if we want you to play a Mario game, we have to make a newer, cooler Mario game so we can sell this, and that's the current state of Mario. And when I thought about it from that angle and how they treat their IPs, like I understand their argument. I don't agree that it's a good argument in the slightest. It's a terrible, terrible mentality to have where they just want this don't look at the old stuff, just keep buying the new thing. The new thing is the only thing that exists. So when you approach it from that angle, I get why they're saying it stifles innovation, because if you can just go back and play Mario Galaxy, what's the incentive to try and make more Mario games? Even though the incentive should be we'll make a game better than Mario Galaxy so it'll sell better. It's a very twisted mentality. I get why Nintendo says it. I think they're like actually completely wrong here.
Here's the other thing, though. They didn't say Dolphin can't exist. They just stopped it from being on Steam.
Yeah.
So it's clearly much more about, like, even from Zelda, from Nintendo's point of view, it's so much of this is about trying to make it less easily available.
Yeah, I mean they know that there are always going to be people who are going to try to do this, but if they can make it difficult, it
Exactly. As soon as it's in a store, anyone can just get Dolphin. And boom, you're done.
Yeah. But for them to rely on this stifling innovation argument, it feels so goofy.
Here's the easy answer. Nintendo could have said literally anything. As long as the answer is no, Valve's going to back down.
Yeah, you don't fuck
Valve
with the big
was never going to go to bat for this or anything. And I'm not even saying they should, but they were never going to.
Which has me thinking, I'm wondering if you can just, after having downloaded RetroArch, if it's possible through RetroArch to set up Wii emulation there, or if it doesn't support that. Either way, if people want to learn how to do this, it's not that hard. There are guides all over the internet. Steam just was about to make it stupid easy. Either way, that's Nintendo's last wrongdoing. We need to go to another branch of a company that Nintendo owns a 33% stake in to talk about their latest goof.
Gotta catch all the goofs. Pokemon.
So this is a stupid fucking story. So, listeners, for anyone who doesn't know, Pokemon Home is the central app you can use to transfer Pokemon in and out of all of like the current games. You can go up from the 3DS games. You go in from Sword and Shield. You can do oh my god, Shining Diamond and whatever the fuck the Diamond and Pearl remakes. I forget what they're called at this point. As well as Pokemon Home. Pokemon Go. They all connect to Home, except for Scarlet and Violet, which came out at this point over 6 months ago. And a lot of what people believe is just like they didn't want them letting you import Pokemon for competitive reasons. They wanted the current generation to just kind of like stay in isolation. You got to raise your shit here, play this shit here, do online this way. And for a while, everyone thought that's what it was. And then the American Pokemon Twitter account tweets out, I believe it's on the 18th, they tweet out, on the 24th, Pokemon Home is going live. You'll finally be able to move Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet in. You get all these cool, sweet bonuses, but you got to do it day one. And then 24 hours later, they're like, we're sorry, there is no release date. It's we'll come back at a later time with a release date. And they could not have done this messaging more poorly. It sounded like, when you see this tweet, it sounded like, oh shit, it wasn't ready and they had to pull it back because they're incompetent. What it actually was is only the English language Twitter tweeted this out. It was never set to go on the 24th and 25th, and only the marketing team who does the US version broadcasted this, to which the rest of the company's like, guys, it's not coming out yet. It would be coming out later. I think today they announced that it's rolling out over the course of next week. So like it was still very soon. Everything they announced is still happening. But like it was a huge marketing miss, and they just didn't want to treat it like that, and everyone was just blindly speculating that Game Freak fucked up again, and they had to pull a release. Whereas it's just the marketing team goofed and posted the date way too early.
No way, that's never happened with Pokemon in the history of forever.
Either way, there's a lot of speculation that the home integration is going to be completely botched, and everyone's just very scared about their Pokemon in general. I don't care. I I actually, after trying to play it on YouTube, I actually legitimately have zero interest in Scarlet and Violet. I never thought I'd say this. I don't even want to buy this game pre-owned.
Damn.
It's wild. I'm finally free.
Wow, I'm finally.
Let's see how
Someone
long
get
that
Jaeger
holds.
on the phone. I gotta tell him what freedom feels like.
I've
Dude,
seen
oh
across
my
the
God.
ocean.
Oh my God! Stop.
If I catch all the Pokemon, will I
Stop.
truly be free?
Fucking stop.
If I
All
complete
right.
my Pokemon bank.
Stop it.
And the next one, I want to talk about this very briefly. I talked about it in the last episode. Mega Man Battle Network. This is a game series that's near and dear to my heart because I played through everything except for one. I played on Game Boy Advance. And both the collections containing the first three and then the last three, even though they do like Pokemon style versions, so it's actually like 9 games. Anyway, it came out. I thought no one would like pick up on this. I thought people were gonna play it, they're gonna forget about it. But what I forgot is, for anyone at Game Boy Advance, that link cable served a purpose. It allowed you to do multiplayer in a lot of games. And I've never done PvP battling in Battle Network, but I knew it was big enough in Japan that they would hold tournaments. And in every Battle Network game, there was a custom character designed by the winner of the previous game's largest tournament. So there's always that one character like, oh, I guess like this is the tournament guy, but like there were never any U.S. tournaments. And the big thing to come out of the Battle Network collection coming out is online battling. So suddenly a game that just had no PvP scene out of Japan suddenly has an online PvP scene. So I gotta say, hands off to Capcom for like surprise reinvigorating the Mega Man Battle Network series. Hopefully this inspires
what a
them.
sentence.
I know, right? The weird thing is though, like a lot of these predictions they had for the future in the year, like when this game came out, like what 2001, 2002, there were predictions like, oh, there's gonna be software on your oven and someone can hack it and set your kitchen on fire. And I was like, this is the dumbest shit ever. But then this weekend, I was hanging out with my dad and he mentioned that he's smoking a brisket. But we went out to go to the supermarket. He's like, oh shit, I have to adjust the temperature. I'm like, what are you doing? He pulls up the mobile app on his phone for the smoker back at the house and live adjust the temperature from his phone. And I'm just like, oh god, it's Mega Man Battle Network.
But like legitimately though.
They actually managed to predict this shit. So hats off to Capcom.
Huh.
All right, let's go back to more disappointing.
Yeah, let's go from hey, we reinvigorated something to hey, we spiked this into the dirt.
So an old classic section of the podcast is making an appearance again. Let's talk about some Blizzard bullshit.
Overdank.
This is another lesson in how not to message shit to your fans. For anyone who's out of the loop, because we're super late on this. Overwatch 2, the only good thing that we were all sitting here and waiting for was the PvE content that was the main focus of the trailer in what 2019 was that long ago? It was pre-COVID, right?
Oh god, at this point I don't even remember.
Yeah, it's been forever since they announced this PvE content, and now in the blink of an eye, it's gone.
Yep.
It's just gone. All that shit. They're still going to do PvE, but there's not the same scale, not this infinite replayability, not this worth $60 co-op video game. The Left 4 the Left 4 Dead Overwatch edition that we've been waiting for is just never going to happen. And the weird thing is the way they chose to announce this. They knew that coming up. Well, I mean, I'm not even talking about the fact that they knew that they'd canceled it before Overwatch 2 did the PvP launch. But the weird thing is, if I'm canceling a PvE mode, and I'm telling you because we're about to launch its replacement mode, you'd think I'd try to soften the blow by showing you literally anything about what we're going to replace it with.
Lol. That implies there's something to replace it with, Freeman.
Well, no. They actually do have actual PvE missions coming as part of like the battle passes, and they'd scheduled after the announcement. They're like, oh, in 2 to 3 weeks, we're having another special broadcast where we're going to show off the new PvE content. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, people are mad that it's gone. The least you could have done is show them, hey, we are still actually going to release something, and here's what it's going to look like. We actually do have stuff we've worked on and stuff we're proud of that we do still want you to play. And they were like, nah, let's just like let everyone be mad. And then we'll come back later when they're seething and show them the shit they don't want to see anymore. Like, this is like, it's bad marketing. Like, I'm not even going to criticize the decision. We all know this is just absolute shit that they're doing this. But they could have messaged it so much better than they actually did.
But the message is still terrible at the end of the day.
I know, but they could have tried to soften the blow. Like, it's just reeks of incompetence.
Wow, it's all. I wonder who that sounds like.
Damn.
Damn, I can't believe there was a time where I used to be very happy to talk about both Overwatch and Pokemon on the podcast. Look at us now.
Lel. And Magic. Don't forget
Basically.
Magic. We haven't talked about it, and there's nothing on the docket, but.
I mean,
No.
the problem is there's too much shit happening in Magic that I just don't know what to talk about at any given moment.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I don't care about a lot of it, so.
I mean, that said, this is not the time to talk about Magic. The Lord of the Rings spoilers are all really cool because they're very flavorful. I'll say that one.
Yeah, it's cool how much text you can fit on a Magic card these days.
Yes. We're reaching Yu-Gi-Oh status, not gonna lie.
Yep, that's where we're going.
Anyway, but yeah, so Overwatch 2. Shit
Oh.
sucks. I have not turned this game on since 2 weeks after
You know
Overwatch
what's-
2 launched.
This is a side story that's very relevant for us.
Oh,
Literally the day before this announcement, or like right, what was it, the day after this announcement, Luigi messages us the picture of him having hit Diamond 1.
Oh yeah.
For
very unfortunate timing.
Oh no, he sent that yesterday, and then today I sent the video Overwatch 2023 in a nutshell. And it,
Oh yeah.
and
I
it
feel
was
bad.
just,
Is
is Overwatch back? No.
All right, hold on. Yeah, so hold up. I actually want to vent about this part. So I brought it up in the group chat. Like with Overwatch, the plot line of Overwatch from the original first cutscene is we're getting the Overwatch back together. And then there's 2 years of events that are just look at this character. They're going to be part of Overwatch when Overwatch gets back together. And then the trailer for Overwatch 2 comes out. And what is it? It's, hey guys, Overwatch is back together. And it's like, okay, what's going to happen next? They're like, well, wait for the PvE to find out what happens when Overwatch gets back together. And here we are 7 years later, and Overwatch is back together. What are they doing? Fucking nothing. I don't understand this. Like this is like the build up to Endgame, except it's just like we're still halfway through the trailer for Avengers 1. Is how this feels.
Look, anyone who wants a good funny 20-second video, just go to YouTube and look for Overwatch in 2023 in a nutshell, and it's
Oh my
oh,
lord.
it's so funny.
PvE.
You know what's so outside? So let's talk about another company that has big games and big problems, like millions of dollars in sexual assault lawsuit payouts, just like Blizzard, Riot Games.
Oh god, I haven't heard about this one.
So this has been an ongoing story, and the only reason I thought of putting this on here is because there was a development like an hour before the podcast or less. So League for a long time has had a couple main regions where, like, the highest level league in North America is the LCS, the League Championship Series. In Europe, it's the LEC. China is the LPL. Korea is the wow. Why can't I remember what Korea is? Okay. Whatever.
KPL.
What?
The KPL, I'm just guessing acronyms.
No, it's all L. I'm literally having a stroke. But either way, each team, each region has their own major league, and then they all have sub leagues. Like, you know, or, well, I don't know if all of them do, but Europe has these like regional leagues, which are crazy popular. And then in America, we have the collegiate scene, and we have the amateur scene, and the oh god, what's it called? The academy scene. Academy is where every team that is franchised, because franchising was made a few years ago, every team that has an LCS team is supposed to have a academy team, and they are encouraged to have like amateur teams. Now there was a situation a couple weeks ago, or like a week or two ago, where the 10 teams in the LCS had a vote and voted to remove Riot's rule that they be mandatorily required to have these lower level teams. And instantaneously, over half of the teams canceled their over half of the organizations canceled these lower league teams. Like just said, goodbye, you're fired. We're not having these lower level teams anymore.
Damn.
The viewership has always been bad, and frankly, these orgs would rather import players from other regions than ever develop North American talent. It's this whole big thing. last week or earlier this week, a couple of years ago, on top of this, Riot worked to help establish a players association, basically a players union for players in North America. It's the LCS or North American LCS Players Association, or it's like the LCSPA, that's what it was. And earlier this week, they voted to walk out of the LCS for the season until this decision was either improved or reversed, but they wanted some kind of bargain where they wanted to do this collective bargaining where Riot would basically at least turn this rule around or turn around some kind of rule to force the orgs to do this. And LCS is supposed to start in 2 days as of this recording on June 1st. And they confer. The players said, "Hey, we are going to walk out." And then Riot made an announcement and said, "The season will start. Teams must field players contractually on stage." And so the teams, the organizations started reaching out to the players from the lower orgs that they had just fired, asking them to come back and play on the main squad temporarily until the players came back to the table and rejoined the teams. So this was all heading...
sports movie with the same plot line here.
So what happened right before the podcast is Riot put out an announcement saying, "Hey, we are going to delay the start of the season by 2 weeks. Also, we're going to basically say no to most of the players' demands. We're going to offer small financial compensation to like the organization that organizes this amateur league. But that's basically it. And in 2 weeks, LCS is going to start. And if it doesn't start in 2 weeks, we're going to cancel the summer season and no North American team will go to Worlds this year. We are just no organization is allowed to go to Worlds this year from North America." And so now it's like, oh, that's, wow. And this is mostly just there's so many factors here. Like, viewership of the LCS has been not plummeting, but has definitely been down year over year for a couple of years now, mostly because we suck so bad at international events. It's like pretty pathetic. The production sometimes is less interesting. There's been shakeups there where like people get shifted over to Valorant suddenly, and there's like big grumbling about that. Europe is just more dynamic and exciting a lot of the time. Or if you want to watch like the real high level stuff, you watch Korea or China. All that to say that like there is a genuine chance that North American League could just die right now.
It's almost definitely going to happen. I remember when it was weird when Overwatch League was trying to do the whole "you have to be from the city you're playing in" thing, but it was like, okay, well now there's just a bunch of Korean players living in random U.S. cities.
Well, and it's not. See, here's the thing though, and there's a lot of blame going around. Like, oh, the players. People have said for years that the players are like lazy and don't work as hard, and that's why we lose at everything. A lot of people saying Riot caused this. Honestly, to me, this is just the big sign of the esports bubble bursting in a lot of ways. These teams have been propped up so much by investor money that just has led to nothing. And now all of these teams are losing their backing and they're panicking after they've been overpaying players by a massive amount. Like there's a famous story where TSM, arguably the most famous org in North America, famous enough to have Worlds chants about them this last year at Worlds when they did not go to Worlds. They paid like $3 million for one of the most famous Chinese players to come over on a 2-year contract, and then literally they were one of the worst performing supports in the league at the time. It's just ridiculous how inflated these salaries have become. So everyone's like, there's blame on the players, and there's blame on the Riot. But honestly, these orgs all voted for this. They said, "Hey, we want to get out." Like all 10 of them said, "We want to ditch this scene, or we want to make it optional," and then immediately went, "Okay, now we don't have to do it. Bye." TSM actually, again, one of the like them and Cloud9 and CLG are like the most long-standing orgs in North America. TSM has basically said, "Hey, after this split, we're moving regions. Like we're gonna stop existing in North America, and we're gonna either move to like Europe or more likely China. Apparently, we're just gonna start the org there." Which is funny because you remember Donkey's Gaming House video about 100 Thieves?
Yeah.
JonTron's video that he did after that was about one part of it was about TSM's like $50 million gaming house that was still under construction when JonTron did his video, and now it's like they just built this ridiculous facility, and now they're gonna just ditch it all and go to China.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, North American League is in a crazy state right now, but I gotta say honestly, like I haven't cared. I've never been like, ooh, North America, ooh. I've been like, yeah, League is fun to watch sometimes. So,
Yeah, just a few more of these professionals need to quit, and that's when I'm going to jump back into the pro scene, because we'll have weeded out all the good players, and I can finally
guys, I swear, if just us, Luigi, Aiden, we can just make a team and we can cruise straight to the top.
If I just wait until there's only like 10 league players in the United States, maybe I'll be on the best team in the United States.
But yeah, so it's a crazy situation that's developing right now. Like, you know, if we do a podcast in 2 or 3 weeks, that we'll see if there's even a summer split of the North American League. So it would be kind of crazy for like the country where League was made is just not gonna have a representative at Worlds. But you know, as one of the Reddit comments I saw said, you can't go 0-9 if you don't go in the first place.
Jesus Christ.
But let's talk about something actually positive in gaming. Well, mostly, I think.
All right, yeah. So Sony State of the Play happened, and like all great gaming shows lately, the whole fucking thing was spoiled 2 days in advance. So there were just a ton and tons of rumors that like a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake is happening. To which the first time I heard it, I was like, all right, is this just like a remaster? Like, there's no way they're remaking. Konami literally doesn't make games and also doesn't talk to Kojima. And of course, they put out the trailer where for the first minute of it, you have no fucking clue what it is until like the end of the trailer where it zooms in. And you're just like, is that Snake? And then the song starts playing. You hear Snake Eater, which unfortunately I don't have on the soundboard. I would have loved to play it here. And I was concerned at first. I'm just like, oh god, who's doing the voices? What are they going to change about it? And then 24 hours later, Konami releases a press statement that they are not changing the story. They're not changing the voice acting. They're using the exact same voice files from the original Metal Gear Solid 3. So this is like the closest we're getting to like a gameplay remaster, but nothing else about the story is going to get touched, which seems weird. I haven't a remake like this before. Like if you keep a lot of stuff the same, usually they just do it like an HD texture update versus changing all your gameplay but then not doing anything different. Like if we're going to start going into the realm where motion capture is something you'd want for cutscenes, typically you'd recast everyone because you want your voice actor for the face vocab.
Freeman, there's a very easy answer here though.
What?
Easy money.
Yes. So what's actually going to happen is maybe it's not going to be as glorious of a remake as we think it's going to be. But honestly, like if they do pull off a full-on remake, but keep all the story beats and dialogue things exactly the same, I'll actually be very impressed with this. They did announce what game studio is working on it, and I don't know anything else they've done. So I don't have amazingly high expectations. But that said, they're working off of a formula that's already like known to be good. So as long as they can pull it off, this will probably be a playable game. I'm excited for it either way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It looks good.
And then in a worst case scenario, they did announce that the Metal Gear Solid remaster, which they said Volume 1, which has Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 is coming out. But that Volume 1 on there is interesting because it implies a Volume 2, which means Metal Gear Solid 4 might finally be playable on a system that isn't the PS3.
that is one of the
Hell
funniest
yeah.
parts of the whole thing to me is that how that has just been locked away for years.
Yeah. I mean, not gonna lie, looking back on it, I don't really love Metal Gear Solid 4 that much.
Freeman,
But
what are
it's
you
still
talking about? When it came out, it was the greatest video game to ever exist.
Oh, it was the greatest movie I ever played on my PS3. Not gonna lie.
Fuck you. I like that game a lot.
Oh, I liked it. I liked it too. But like honestly, if I had to go replay the Metal Gear Solid quad, I still haven't played 5. If I had to replay the first 4 Metal Gear Solids, I'm probably gonna play 3, 1, 2, 4 is probably the order.
Damn, 4
that I'm
last.
designing. Well, it's not a bad game, but the thing is, like,
Well,
maybe
4
this may
is
be
the last
controversial.
one, technically.
It's also nice to end on the finale, but like I don't know, I don't know if it's a hot take or not. I actually really like 2.
But you're not even gonna play 5?
I still haven't played 5. I was talking about strictly about if I had to
fuck is
replay the ones that I've already
Yeah, that's
played.
what he said.
Oh my
I just haven't
God.
played 5 yet. What? I know. I need to play more games.
You give me an aneurysm, but yet you go back to play Persona 5, you fucking loser.
I didn't go
Jesus
back to
Christ.
play it. There was a new version. It was
No, there
Persona
wasn't
5
the same
2.
game. Fuck.
It was honestly, I got kind of debated. It was pretty much the same game. All of the big changes were all at the beginning and all at the end. And the reason it took me so long is because like the middle 50%, I'm like, God, I'm just playing Persona 5. That said, Persona 5 is still like one of the best turn-based JRPGs ever made. So
This is not supposed to be about Persona 5.
We only talk about games with 5 in them. Anyway, moving on. Before we talk about games, I want to talk about the new Sony gamepad that's coming out, the Wii U Plus.
The Wii U Plus.
I don't know what it's called, Project Q or some shit. This is Sony's answer to the Steam Deck for people who want to be able to play in handheld mode within the confines of their own home and not out on the go like any other handheld gamer would want. This is interesting. If and this is a big if you are able to install your own software on this thing and like run Android or something, maybe we got a deal here. Maybe. If I'm restricted to Wi-Fi and it just means I need to tether to my phone, so be it. But if you literally can't play this unless you're on the same Wi-Fi network as your PS5, I feel like this is just way too niche of a market to work. Like there are people out there who are very into like using Moonlight to stream Steam from their computer to their phone when they're on their couch or something along those lines.
Who are these?
Well, I mean, look up ask the internet who uses Moonlight, and that's your target audience, which is not a lot of people. So I really want to know where in the market research they're seeing who are these people who like want handheld gaming, but they're not actually going on the go. Like who is this person who has their Switch and they only play it in handheld mode within their own home? Which I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to realize it might actually be me, but that's besides the point. I like it because I can take it somewhere else.
But not outside though.
You can't see shit outside. But like, if I want to go, if I'm like going to my parents' house, I'm going over to Tim's to play D&D. I can bring it with me, and it's playable in someone else's home. But this won't be because it needs to be on the same Wi-Fi network as your PS5, so it's not playable in a Wi-Fi equipped area. So I don't really understand it. Like, it looks cool. It's like you took a PS5 controller and glued it onto a tablet. Like, it's probably really comfy to hold. I just don't see the real use case for this.
Yeah, no, you can miss me with that.
Actually, speaking of use case, this is a really minor diversion. We were talking about great games a second ago. You know what we don't have on the docket?
What?
And we talked about the Lord of the Rings set coming out.
Oh, we
didn't
oh,
talk
oh my god.
We didn't talk about Gollum being one of the worst releases.
I didn't even know that game was like a thing.
Oh yeah, I remember it got
out
announced. I think we brought it up when it got announced like a million years ago.
I don't remember any of it.
But
yeah, I watched Moist Critical's video on it, and holy shit, this game does not like. It looks like Donkey Kong Country, but like in HD graphics is how it feels watching someone play this game.
I just wanted to bring it up because the reviews have been absolutely hilarious about how trash this is, and all the screenshots just show like, oh god, it looks horrible.
Yeah, they really had to put more work into his model. He just looks so goofy.
So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there,
bad.
not related to anything really, but man, Gollum is apparently big garbage.
Did you guys see like? I guess you saw like gameplay footage or?
Yeah, I watched Moist Critical playing through it.
Oh
and
god!
It just like I was like I did not know it was gonna be like a platformer.
I see. I thought I saw like the biggest thing is it's like a bad stealth game.
It is. It's like there's stealth, there's platforming, there's story bits, and it doesn't seem like any of them are executed particularly well.
But the reason I brought it up was like this is a case of like hey, who on planet Earth pitched this? Who thought this was a good idea?
I mean, in a core concept, someone told me you were just making a Gollum video game. I'm like, all right, that could work. It's not a
Could
concept where I didn't hear it and I'm like, okay, well, that's never going to work. I'm like, all right, maybe they can make it work.
I feel like
Maybe
I remember being
maybe they'll
like,
be
no, this
creative.
isn't a good idea from like minute 0.
I mean, before I saw any gameplay footage, I was like, oh man, I hope this is good. I wonder if this will be good because like I like the Lord of the Rings universe. If there's a good game in the universe, I'll play it. I think I own Shadow of Mordor, one of them that I'm supposed to play at some
Shadow of
point in the
Mordor is a
future.
good game.
Yeah, I think I got it on one of the Steam sales. But point is, I like cool games set in universes I like. So hearing that this game is bad, a little disappointing. Wish it was
I'm
good.
not surprised though.
I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed.
All right, we can get back to Sony doing good.
Anyway, so there's a lot of gameplay trailers coming out. First and foremost, Spider-Man 2. I only saw little bits and pieces of it from just like the new like slingshot mechanics they have going on. I still have to play Spider-Man 1 before I play this one. And I technically own
Play
it.
video games.
I should play some video games.
Just
You know what?
wanna play video
Podcast canceled. I'm gonna go
games.
play Spider-Man. See you guys later.
Good.
Sounds good.
And then two more I want to talk about. The last one, I'm not in on the franchise. I don't know what's going on here, but Bungie, who I guess Sony owns, has a licensing deal. I don't know what the deal is, but the newest Bungie game to release, Marathon, got its, I guess, debut trailer.
Dude, how
Newest
wild is
game.
that, Tim?
Newest game.
How does that? Yeah, how does that? That's wild. I'm
It's-
surprised.
do you know
when
what
I saw
Marathon is?
Marathon, yeah.
No, I don't know
where
anything about this.
Marathon is the series that Bungie made before Halo.
Oh, it's part of a series.
Multiple. Like 3 or 4.
See, that's why I
One
was
of my
confused. 'cause
favorite
if you-
YouTubers, Lord Mandalore, just did a bunch of videos on it over the past few months.
That's why I was
Quite
confused because
cool
I
series.
went to go look more into it, and then I went to Bungie's Wikipedia page, and you look at their list of games, and there's no link for this. So I'm like, all right, it must be small and new enough that there's just no information. And then I realized if you just scroll up further on the page, there's other listings for Marathon. So, have you guys played any of the other Marathon games?
Nope.
I have. The fucking game is ass.
Oh shit, this is from '94. Holy crap,
yeah,
this is an old
dude,
game.
it's alright. You
Yo, this
play
looks like Doom.
it. It's dude. Doom is better. Doom is way better. I don't even know how that game even got compared to Doom in the first place. It's fucking shit.
I mean, it looks like a boomer shooter.
It
That's
is a
why.
boomer shooter. It's 100% a boomer shooter, but like it doesn't look good. I think the colors were always off. Dude, I don't know. I never liked Marathon. I played Marathon when they were offering it on Xbox Live Arcade. So like that's how you know how long it's been. But yeah, like I didn't like it. And
Did
it
you see
didn't
the new
show
trailer
like
though?
I did see the trailer.
What
I
are your
did see the
thoughts?
trailer, so like, maybe. Maybe. I am interested though. I'm interested in a new single player Bungie game that isn't, Destiny. Because I'm gonna hope that it plays like Destiny, it plays like Halo.
But it's not
And
monetized like Destiny.
yeah, I'm really looking for something else. And honestly, if they fuck this game up, then I'm done with Bungie. Like I don't give a fuck about Bungie. But I am interested in Marathon though and seeing how that works out. What about you, Tim? Do you care?
I mean, I would definitely try it out. I just, again, like you said, it's just I just have been out of it for so long. I like Mandalore's videos make it look really cool and like they've got a neat story going on, but I also wouldn't play it.
Mm.
I don't know. honestly, like the world of shooters these days feels like you're either like an always online thing or you're a retro shooter. And I kind of want like just another, as silly as it is to always say, I kind of just want another Halo where it's like a fun single player game where you just play through a high profile, interesting story with like good gameplay. Like, are there really shooters like that these days?
What?
Yeah, it feels like there isn't.
Aside from Doom.
Yeah, like where there's just a single player, continuous story, high production value. It just doesn't feel like those exist.
I don't know. They exist. Just it's called Doom.
That's not Tyler.
What do you mean?
I
What?
mean more than just Doom.
I don't know. You know
Oh,
what?
good.
Let's
Two
check.
games that came out over the last 5 years. Thank goodness we have enough shooters like that.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Like,
Can I
I
tell,
know-
can I tell you guys a quick Halo-related story from this weekend? Just with
Sure.
how out of touch I am with the Halo franchise. So I'm at the gym, and I forget which news station's running, but they're doing a special on, I think, like women's representation in video games, and it's muted, so I can't hear what they're talking about. But they have like this all girls like high school gaming team or something, and they're on the backdrop. They have all this shit for Halo Wars 2, and I'm sitting here thinking,
What?
no way, they're making a Halo Wars 2. Completely unaware that this game came out like 6 years ago.
So long
Jesus
ago.
Christ, that's ooh.
Yeah,
Good
sorry,
God.
tangent over.
No, now I'm looking for single player first person shooter because Tim is a boomer.
What? How
And
is
he
that
needs a
being a
shooter.
boomer?
And you want the
You want a
first
boomer
person
shooter.
shooters.
What? How is that? I feel like
Boomer.
a boomer shooter is the retro
Boomer.
Doom looking shooters that keep coming out.
I mean,
Yo, Warhammer
technically,
40k
yes.
bolt gun looks like that looks like fire.
I'm sure it does, but guess what? That's another Doom looking shooter.
It does.
Yeah.
It looks like fun though.
I'm not saying they're not.
Call of Duty is a good
Get
single
the
player.
fuck out of here.
What do you mean? Have you played the new one, Tim?
No, because it doesn't
And
count.
you don't. Then you can't say shit.
No, because it doesn't count.
How is it doesn't count? What do you mean it doesn't count?
I don't know.
How does that not count? It's a
Just wanna
single
have
player
fun playing a
first-person
shooter again,
game.
okay?
Tim, I am giving you so much. Far Cry. Far Cry is good.
Oh my
They're
god, the
good games.
series that's been out for that keeps putting out the same game every year.
I still don't
Because it's
understand.
still fun.
I don't know what you want from me.
I just want the fun of playing Halo again. That's all.
Then you gotta play Destiny
But I don't want to.
or Metal
my
Hell.
God.
Yo, Metal Hellsinger. That's a banger.
Oh, is that
Alright,
that's the
moving
rhythm
But you're
on.
never
shooter,
gonna
right?
play it, huh?
That's the rhythm shooter, right?
Yes,
That one looks like a lot of fun.
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's really good.
All right, let's get through the rest of this.
Man, I'm upset with Tim. Tim just doesn't play video games either.
Wow, it's almost like I have a fucking good reason why I can't play video games.
I don't know,
I
man.
don't have a
Because
good reason.
no, because my buddy, I have a few friends who have kids, and guess what? They're still playing games.
Wow. I want to
Yeah.
know how much. No, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, yo, he's a good. He be
Alright, look,
posting
well-
with him and his kid all the time.
All I'm gonna say is once Val passes the certification, you got to tell her, all right, Val, now it's my time to study the game, and you get that
Study
2
the
hours on
game.
Tuesday, 2 hours on Thursday. Just game all you want.
Dude.
What else was there? Oh yeah,
Final-
Freeman's game.
Yeah, we got the final trailer for Final Fantasy 16. Not a lot of new stuff was shown, just a lot more gameplay. Everything's super hype. Like, I'll say this, I'm straight, but every time I hear Sid's voice, it's got me acting up. I am so excited for this game. Like, I haven't taken a day off to play a video game since Kingdom Hearts 3. Big mistake. I'm actually considering taking off for the first day of Final Fantasy 16 because I am just
Wow.
so excited. It looks from a gameplay perspective like they just took 15 and just stripped down all the shit that didn't make sense.
Nah, I'm worried it's gonna be the same game.
I think it's gonna be
I'm excited. Don't
I
get
think
me
it's gonna-
wrong.
I mean, if you're concerned it's gonna be a direct sequel to Final Fantasy 15, then
Like gameplay wise, I feel like that's what it's gonna be.
probably they're really all in on this action RPG aspect. But like, it's weird because they want to be Devil May Cry, but they don't want the complexity of Devil May Cry in its combo system. So, like, I see the main character can pull off a crazy amount of moves, but apparently it's supposed to be one button combat. So it's all very based on position and the direction of your stick. So,
That sounds kind of fucking dumb if you ask me.
look, I'm not gonna lie, it sounds dumb too, but I'm hoping that when I can try out the demo in a week, it'll feel good. because they're gonna have a
Wait,
demo.
the
2
demo's
weeks
coming
ago.
out next week. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am
Sorry, not
excited.
next week. 2 weeks. It's gonna be
Oh,
2
God.
weeks before the launch. I think it launches on the 26th or something. Hold on.
Okay. Like, I'm excited for it. Like, I 100% am.
Oh, I'm not sitting here like saying this is gonna be the greatest game of all time. It's like, nah, I just want a fun Final Fantasy. Give me a fun Final Fantasy, and I have absolute confidence this will be a fun Final Fantasy. All right, comes out on the 22nd, so we should get the demo on the 8th most likely. So looking forward to that one. And the last thing at the state of play, this one was the thing we oh no, this happened way after our last episode. Alan Wake 2, which I don't think it had even like been announced.
We talked about it?
Yeah.
We talked about during the last episode. We talked about it in person.
No,
We
a
haven't
while
spoken
ago.
about it
Like
since a month ago.
this is not a new announcement, but this trailer was very new.
Gotcha. All right.
We had seen nothing. We knew. So after Control came out, it was like, Alan Wake 2 is probably going to happen. And then they announced, yep, we're making Alan Wake 2. And then this was the first time because we didn't have this story. But if you guys remember, I think I mentioned on like when we were hanging out that the voice actor and the mocap guy for Alan Wake was like, oh yeah, game's supposed to come out in like October. And then this trailer comes out. It's like, yep, in October, Alan Wake 2's coming out.
Okay, so I missed the initial announcement they were doing Alan Wake 2 at all. So when the voice actor said it, I was like, did he just like spoil that this game that wasn't announced is happening? And then I just didn't look further into it.
No, it wasn't Norman Reedus saying, hey, we're definitely totally not... I haven't already started working on Death Stranding 2 or anything like
Damn, dude.
No, we knew about this, but this is the first time we saw this trailer, and this game looks...
See, all right, I'm gonna tell everybody what Tim is saying.
Yeah.
Tim is not a fan of this, but is 100% up Tyler's alley 1000.
Okay, here's the thing. This looks like it's another Resident Evil 2 remake game, which is fine. I know that's good. But I loved playing Control so much more than I liked playing Alan Wake 1. That, like, I'm kind of sad that I don't get to fly around and use telekinesis and shit like that all the time. That was so fun. But I think this still is good. This is probably going to be good. Remedy seems to have really turned it around since fucking Quantum Break, so, you know.
Just got to pray they announce Control 2 after this.
Honestly, with how they're doing this whole interconnected universe thing based on Control... Control both is a game that like you could make infinite sequels on because of the weird universe, but at the same time it's hard to do Control again because there was so much story and everything wrapped into Control already, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like the main conceit of Control is so hard to do a second time, but there's millions of sub stories. Like Tyler, remember the fridge? The guy staring at the fridge?
Yeah.
Or things like that. Or like
they're all just fun stuff. The duck.
There's so
no
much.
Rubber ducks, like
it's ridiculous how many stories there
will be allowed on premises.
I still swear, I never looked it up. I still swear one of the narrators of the trailer is a guy from Control. So like
maybe.
I keep not checking. I could be totally wrong, but yeah, seeing another Alan Wake is neat. But again, also the story is just weird to me. Like, why are we doing... It's so hard to understand what the take is going to be here. But, you know, Alan's out of that room, so we'll find out where he is in space and time, I guess, maybe this time. Instead of just this ethereal darkness thing, lake thing going on, craziness. First game is fucking weird, man.
I'm looking forward to it. I want this weird horror shit, this weird eldritch horror shit that I love so much.
I want Tyler to play this, and I want to hear how it is.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna start doing my own let's play channel with blackjack and hookers.
There you go.
You know.
Hell yeah. All right, but I think we're done talking about Sony and this particular Japanese company. So we should probably talk about some different announcements from different Japanese companies as a part of the Weeb shit, right?
Wow.
Right. That's what I
Wow.
thought.
We should have just done it, Tyler, to make him think that it didn't work again.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Every time I press, I'm like, did it work? Did it work? You know, I'm like checking my own mics because I have to turn off noise suppression every time I hit this. Anyway, Weeb shit time. A lot of random announcements. We are more than halfway through the season, which means summer is going to start gearing up soon. And
So many announcements.
honestly, the biggest surprise and one I'm almost kind of disappointed to hear about is the quintessential quintuplet side story season that got announced a couple months ago. They're like, yeah, it's coming out in July, and I took a long pause. I'm like, wait, this like completely unneeded sequel side story series is coming out this soon? All this screams to me is cash grab. That's all this is. This is going to be like a bad side story anime.
I can't
Like-
wait to hear you three talk about it every Sunday.
I'm debating. All right, I know who I am.
Debating,
I'm going
sure.
to want to watch it, but like ultimately, if this season is any indication of how my anime watching is going, I'm struggling to keep up with a lot of shows, and I have to make the decision to not watch some shows every season. I'm already skipping After School Insomniacs, which I know is good. I just don't have time to slot it in at the moment. And this may be a show that I have to skip and maybe come back to if it turns out that it's decent. Because honestly, rooting for Miku kind of sucks when you know she's going to lose. Not giving you spoiler warnings. Bros out there is going to watch. Sucks to suck. It's not Miku.
Sucks to
Root for her
suck.
anyway. She's best girl. But I'm concerned this is just going to be like a really shitty, like bad comedy. Which I'll talk about bad comedy anime later when we talk about the watch played section. But either way, it's coming out. We'll give it the 3-episode rule, but I'm not opposed to indefinitely dropping this if I'm just not captivated by it. But in terms of shows that are going to captivate me, we got a double competing racing anime shit happening in October. In addition to MF Ghost, the initial D sequel, which they've been saying countless times, like it's airing in 2023. Only to have a trailer like last week saying it is still airing in 2023. We're not committing to summer. I'm like, okay, man, that means it's coming out in October, and you just don't want to say it yet because you might delay it to 24. But for all intents and purposes, it's airing in October. But then we got confirmation there's another CG car racing anime. It's not F1. I think it's Formula 8. But like, if I say F1, you know what I'm talking about. This is race cars on a racetrack. This is happening. We're getting another racing anime. This one may not have Eurobeat, but MF Ghost will. But we'll have two completely different styles of CG car racing anime potentially in the same season. And I'm very excited for this. This is going to be good. But both of these are unfortunately going to get completely blown out of the water by the atomic bomb.
Let's go!
The Eminence and Shadow Season 2.
Waiting only less than a full year. So excited.
So this is wild. So I looked into it a bit, and I'm trying to figure out like why are we getting a Season 2 so fast? This is a Kadokawa series, and they're famous for holding their cards close to their chest and only like releasing a series where they're like, we want to build more hype.
Yeah, look at ReZero and what's it called?
Yeah,
Konosuba.
Overlord. Oh yeah, Konosuba. This may be just more indications of Kadokawa changing how they're doing, because apparently in their last earnings, Eminence of Shadow is like their number 3 earner for the year. And like, keep in mind, this started what, fall of last year? The anime. The game came out like 8 weeks into it, so the game was out for like maybe a month before this year started. This is their 3rd highest earning franchise for the year.
After what?
After what? Oh,
1 and 2.
I don't remember.
Oh my god, that's
because it was
amazing.
one of their usual titles. But seeing this as number 3 was like, holy shit! Like this blew up bigger than I thought. So much so that I think they're porting the Android Gacha game over to PC for like a native release.
Oh my god!
With crossplay. Anyway, they're all in on this. The only problem is, and this isn't really a problem. It sounds like, well, they already confirmed it's 12 episodes, so it sounds like they're going to attempt to do 1 volume this season, which is great because most light novels try to slam 3 volumes into 12 episodes. With season 1 of Eminence and Shadow, we got 2 volumes, so roughly 12 episodes to each volume. But they also added a lot of material that was in like side story chapters that were released later on. So
it's getting a good adaptation, is what you're saying.
It's getting a good adaptation. The thing is, they can't keep this tempo forever because I think there's only 5 volumes. This will adapt volume 3. So in theory, if they want to switch to it, we're going to do 12 episodes a year kind of approach. They can probably milk it for another 2 years. And if they just do 12 episodes a year, I wouldn't be that pissed. I just want them to keep doing this, keep releasing more shit as long as this like franchise is interesting.
Yes, I mean I'm all aboard. This show is so much fun. I still rewatch the clips of like the final fight sometimes. Like it is such a fun time to watch this show.
I know it's when isekais just stop being so formulaic. Like and I'll get to this a bit when we talk about what we watch play. I'm getting so tired of the formula that I will try any show that I think is trying to do something more unique than what everyone else is doing right now. And then we have something that's trying to not do something unique, and it's just going to be
let's
shonen
go back to
around.
the ancestral,
the greatest of all time.
God,
we got Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War Season 2 coming out in I think it's July. I did not know that we had the trailer like 2 days ago, hiding all the dank animation away and just giving us story spoilers. Either way, immensely excited for this. I have no idea how loud this music is compared to my speaking
It's pretty quiet and pretty low quality.
Okay, good, because it's playing very loud through my own headphones, but I can't hear myself talking, so I'm just going to stop it.
Comes in.
Anyway, very excited for Bleach. First core, phenomenal, amazing animation. I expect nothing less out of this core. And I'm speaking of pretty nice animation. Jobless Reincarnation Season 2 is also coming in July. Stacked season. Despite the trailer coming out, they did not release English subtitles for it. So I still don't know what the fuck's going on in this trailer, but everything looks really nice. And Rudy seems like he's got some cool PTSD arc coming up. So hopefully there's some cool character growth there, because Lord knows this man needs it.
I mean, I made it. I made it through the rough part, so I'm in at this point.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. I can't wait to hear Giga freaking out about this coming out in his video about what's coming next season. And then...
he will. This is the isekai. This is like I'm at the point where like ReZero almost isn't serious enough to be in contention with this. Like ReZero is almost too tongue in cheek, especially with what happened at the end of Season 2, where it's almost lost a bit of its seriousness. Whereas I feel like Jobless Reincarnation, despite Rudy's perviness, still is a serious show that isn't falling into trope land like every other isekai is after their third volume.
It's shocking to hear that about ReZero after the stuff that I did see in Season 1.
After
that
stuff.
I still think Season 1's a 10 out of 10. Season 2 did a lot to make me not like the franchise as much anymore. It did a lot to erode what made Subaru's character good, and it I don't want to turn this into a let's like dick on ReZero Season 2, but all right, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna dick on ReZero Season 2. So the whole point of this arc is Rosewall is the antagonist, and he's trapping Subaru in this arc. And he straight up tells Subaru, "Hey, I literally planned it this way to like help you grow as a character, and I'm gonna give you the instructions to break out. You just need to follow them, and like no one will get hurt." And Subaru's like, "No, there has to be another way." So he goes. And his grand scheme is to just follow Rosewall's plan up to the last step and then just do it wrong. And the way he does it is so annoying. Like he has to convince Beatrice to just pick him as someone that she trusts. And the way that Rosewall says is just ask her the question. You know, you're sitting here and waiting for this someone. Ask me if I'm that person. And when she asks you, say yes, I'm that person you're waiting for. And instead, she was like, no, I'm going to make her say it. And the end result is exactly the same, but he spends 5 episodes on this ideal battle with Rosewall that just straight up doesn't need to happen. And it gets so overly dramatic because this conversation is happening in the middle of a burning building. Actually pissed me off. But I can't wait for ReZero Season 3. Because I think it was just a weak arc. Anyway, moving on. That's it for the Weeb shit. I left a mini topic in here last time we set up show notes because we didn't have anything we watched or played. We can skip over this topic. We want to just wait till the end of the season to talk about what's going on with Demon Slayer.
I mean,
just how our initial thoughts.
Yeah, because I think it was right after episode 6 or so came out, and we were all sort of starting to feel like, is this a bad season of Demon Slayer?
But whatevs.
Yeah, but whatevs.
Damn, shortest topic in existence.
No, I mean, like no one has been like Val and I are upset we didn't get to watch Villain Saga yesterday. Legitimately, still such an incredible show that it's going to be the first 10 out of 10 that I give if this season still lands it.
Damn.
But like Demon Slayer's like none of us watched Demon Slayer on Sunday. Obviously, no one's really here.
Oh,
And
that's
we weren't going to make
right.
Michelle watch it.
I mean,
but, like,
I did because I figured you guys were gonna watch it.
we will for next
I'll
Sunday.
watch it.
We'll watch it,
yeah.
but it's not like Vinland Saga and Mashal.
just don't
As much
miss.
as you're going to make fun of me for that,
Don't
Freeman.
miss.
Like, those are the
Saga,
shows
don't
this
miss.
season that I'm like, I want to watch them the day they come out. The second they're out, I want to watch this show.
Yeah.
And Demon Slayer just ain't that right now. And it has that dragon attack from 2 episodes ago. That was pretty hot.
Yeah,
But, like,
without spoiling this week's episode, like it's how I feel about every episode is it's very pretty, but it's not that interesting.
This season is weirdly feels like we have to super explain everything. Like, seeing the new demon show up and then just like it feels like 5 minutes of whatever his name is being like, I watched the demon do this, and then the demon did this, and then the demon did this, and it's like, oh my god, this exposition is brutal. This pacing is terrible.
Oh, you guys are gonna fucking hate the episode this week then.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But,
I'm not a big fan of this season. This season ain't it.
It's just it's weird. It like the demons are just, there's much less build up. Like,
Yeah,
we didn't get
just
established with anybody in this sword village. Like, remember when the entertainment district started and we like went to the red light district and they were infiltrating the houses to try to find the demon, and then they found the underground thing and they were like all working on different objectives, and then the town got destroyed. It's like this was like hum-de-dum-dum, go to the village, boom, instantly under attack, and everyone's dead, so why should I care about any of these swordsmiths? There was like 2 episodes of prep, and then boom, they're under attack, and there's already a 5 and a 4 star here.
Yeah, I can't have a feel like only like 3 people live in this village.
Legitimately, like, there were the shots of people being like, the fish monsters, we're gonna fight them, and then they just die. And it's like, none of this, the only emotional weight to this is, what's his fate? I can't remember.
Hanazuka? Or are you
No,
talking about the kid?
the kid.
Yeah, I don't remember.
The other demon slayer. Yeah,
Ginro.
Ginro, yeah. Or whatever.
Well, no, that's the voice actor is the same
No,
from
I
Doctor
know.
Stone, so I keep calling him that.
Oh, yeah, Ginro. Jesus. No, but he had his backstory episode. That was effective. And, like, dealing with the Mist Hashira and whatever his weird problem is kind of interesting. But seeing him trapped in a bubble for 3 episodes is also fucking boring.
Yeah.
Like, this none of these guys hold a candle to Rengoku or Uzui. Like, why would I be invested in them being in this fight at all? The answer is I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still very pretty, and we're still gonna watch, and we're still gonna get through it.
Yeah, it's not enough for me to stop watching.
No, and all the comments on Reddit are like, guys, I swear this is the worst arc of Demon Slayer.
Yeah, so that's a saving grace. Like, if this is the worst the show's going to be, then I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
If Ufotable's gorgeous animation is all I have to force myself to watch every week, then I guess I'll suffer through that.
Look, man, if
But,
Ufotable can trick me into liking Fate, they can do anything.
Look, here's the other flip side of that. My Hero had its absolutely worst season before coming back with one of the strongest, if not the strongest, since the beginning of the show.
It is true.
So, like, yeah, sometimes shows take a dip in quality. It happens. It's certainly not enough to make me go, I'm done with Demon Slayer.
Yeah, but we've definitely lost chief export status here.
That'll be so interesting to hear how the numbers for this year are after this arc is what happens.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to be the big. I'd be so surprised if it actually ends up just being Eminence and Shadow, just from that gotcha money.
Oh my god, that'd be great. No, you know what? You know what? I don't know why this just popped into my head, but remember how, like, the second to last episode of the battle in Entertainment District ended, where it was just that moment of, like, the explosion when Zenitsu pushes Tanjiro off the roof, and then there's just the smoke rising, and it's just silence. Like, remember how shocking that moment was? It's like,
yeah.
Maybe it's just because, like, none of these characters other than Tanjiro and Nezuko are around, but, like, does it feel like anything large scale like that is going to happen here? Like, we already saw, the village already seems to be destroyed.
Oh, there's nothing left to save. At this point, it's just kill the demon.
But that's, like, we've already lost all the stakes. Like, when the whole Entertainment District just got nuked In a second,
Yeah.
it was like, holy shit. Like, we were sort of vaguely keeping buildings around, and now there's just rubble. Like, this is crazy. And now it's just like, okay, well, the 4 demons showed up. In 2 episodes, they're already gone. The really threatening guy crying in a corner is a really scary villain. And then guy in a jar who seems to get pissed that he can't kill one human. Great. Engaging villains.
Yeah, not at all. Not like even close to the other ones.
Yeah, the other ones
Oh,
you can
all
actually
All I want to
feel for them.
see, is 3 Moon come back and be really pissed at Tanjiro, and that'd be great.
The thing that I'm like really hoping doesn't happen is they're gonna get these demons within an inch of their life, and then the demons are gonna look directly in the camera and go, you know, I had a sad backstory too. Like, I don't want them to pull the bleach, but I can feel it. The fact that we know nothing about these demons who need to die at the end of the season means we're just gonna get sob stories as they die.
I don't know if that's true, because we had inklings of that before the entertainment district was over. These guys, like, what is the, like, I don't, like, how do you make a backstory for a guy in a jar? Like, it doesn't even seem like he's a human being or ever was a human being, so it's like so hard to connect to him. Whereas the other 2 in entertainment district, like, yeah, it's a brother sister. That's really, one of them is gorgeous, one of them's hideous. It's relatable. But I'm supposed to rate to the guy with eyeballs.
Tanjiro Nezuko comparison.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the whole, remember when Tanjiro was like, that could have been us in like a flip of a coin?
Yeah,
Like, you get that. This is like, yeah, Tanjiro, remember when you could have grown mouths out of your eye sockets? Like, that was really
look at this
happened.
jar. This could have been you.
Anyway.
All right.
Demon Slayer's mid right now, but it's fine. It'll survive it. Chief export status removed. Revoked.
Export status removed. Jesus.
All right. Time for some watch and play, and I can talk about a couple of animes that I finished over the course of the month. So 2, and I'll be very brief about this one. I don't really want to talk too much about it. But Urusei Yatsura is a very old anime that got remade by not Studio Wit, David Production, famous for doing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Fire Force. And they very clearly put a lot of their animation effort on this instead of the last part of JoJo, which was a little concerning. So I was excited to go into this, excited to try out a remake of a classic anime. Same author who did Inuyasha, same author of Ranma 1/2. And the problem with this is while the animation and voice acting is all brought up to a modern standard, the comedy hasn't. And I'm going to describe the comedy the best I can. You know how in Pokemon, every time Brock sees a girl and then Misty smacks him over the head and then pulls him off screen angrily?
Yep.
Imagine if you thought that was peak comedy. Like, no one could ever invent a funnier joke than that. You just want to hear that over and over and over again.
No.
That's the whole fucking show. That's it. It's the same gag over and over again. And they did it for 26 episodes. Only to drop the big bomb that, like, hey guys, we're getting to season 2 next year, 26 more. And I finished the 26. Like, I really struggled for the last like 8 episodes or so, because I'm just like, I have not laughed once, and the only genre this show has is comedy. And I had to rate at the end, and I'm like, what? Like, how do you rate a comedy that isn't funny? It's just bad, right? Bad show.
It depends how bad. If it's so bad, it was at least like got a reaction out of you. But we've talked before about how in video games and in everything, the worst thing you can say about something is that it's boring. So if it was boring, not funny, then that's like true loss of time.
Yeah, it had the big problem that it would introduce a character, and that character is very one-dimensional, has a single joke, and they'd exhaust that character's joke in their own episode. But then that character would be a recurring character using their same tired joke that you already were done with after they introduced them. And they just keep adding new characters. So I'm going to say this right now. It's a beautiful show. They put a shit ton of quality into all the openings. This isn't that good of a show. I don't recommend it for comedy
lovers. Do you think
lovers.
it's basically like, hey, we're going to give a fresh coat of paint to this nostalgia thing, but that doesn't hide that there are lots of problems?
I think so. Like, when you look back, like, take like Scooby-Doo for an example. Old Scooby-Doo, like, if they got rid of the laugh track, you'd realize old Scooby-Doo's really not that funny. Modern Scooby-Doo, it actually is pretty good. They've really brought it up to like what modern standards for a like comedic kids show should be.
Mm-hmm.
With this, they brought it to the animation and direction standards of a present day anime, but it's just like they kept the same plot, the same jokes, the same structure of it exactly the same, and I just don't think it belongs anymore.
Gotcha.
But But it's rough because you can tell they put a lot of love and attention to this. Like they had the cast from the original anime playing like the parents
Whoa.
of the main cast in this one. Like there were a lot of nods and homages to just everything about the old series. So it was really nice they did that, but it just sucks that it wasn't entertaining.
Do you think this is going better in Japan?
I'd imagine just because there's a lot more old school fans there. And the fact that like you would say Yatra never blew up in the West, whereas it was pretty big when it came out. Like in the same, I would say it was probably as big there as like Inuyasha was here.
Wow.
And this is one of the shows that kind of like originates the waifu culture, where the plot of the show is look at this girl and how cool and amazing she is. Like this was the show that started this whole trend. So it's interesting to see where it started, but I think we've kind of moved past. I don't want to say we've moved past its relevance. We need better comedy. I'm honestly I'm not gonna watch season 2. I wasn't that enthused with the show overall, so I'm probably just gonna stop here.
Damn.
But then I'll talk about a show that I don't want to stop. To Your Eternity. I was dragging my feet on the finale, and I kind of wish I didn't because I wasn't expecting to experience this kind of emotional response for it, but I actually did cry a little bit during the end of the final episode.
Whoa.
Yeah, To Your Eternity turned it around hard. I ended up giving the show an 8, but wanted to give it a 9, but had to intentionally hold back on it a bit just because there were certain spots where I felt the animation was super lacking and the pacing was kind of all over the place. But as I was alluding to before when I was talking about like trying out shows with interesting plots, because I don't like stuff that's just getting too formulaic. To Your Eternity has a very interesting and unique plot, even though they may stumble on certain places like the prison island arc from season 1 or the first 4 episodes of season 2. I think that ultimately the story is very strong and there's just not another anime doing anything in this scale. So I commend it for that. I really enjoyed the entire like last 10 episodes have just been this. It's been basically a war zone. There's this siege of this city and it's the Knockers versus oh my god, how am I drawing a blank on his name? It's not Funi, it's
Fushi.
Oh my god.
How did me and Tyler remember? We haven't watched any of season 2.
No, I've seen halfway through season 2
Really?
actually.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's
I just kind of fell off because I was like, like
I
don't know.
don't know. I think it really depends on how much you can stomach what's his name, Bond, because he gets promoted to like main character status, but he also goes through his own character development. By the time you get to like the second half of season 2, he's someone completely different from who got introduced at the beginning. Because a lot of people hated how like just flamboyant he is when you meet him. I do got to say the very interesting thing about this show is Fushi changes form so much between a lot of recurring characters that I realize anytime someone's cast on the show, they really need to cast and be like, okay, you're going to play this character, but we also need you to play Fushi because you will voice him at some point in this show. Everyone is Fushi at some point. So it was very interesting. Like I said, it's 8 borderline 9 in my opinion. I really liked it. There's a post-credit scene that's setting them up for season 3, and I'm fucking shocked at what they put in that post-credit scene. I have no clue how they're going to handle this next season. It's either going to be something wild or it's going to suck, but it's happening, and I'm all about it. So, Freeman seal of approval here.
All right.
Next one. This one is halfway done, but I want to talk about what's going on with it. So, Oshinoko. I got all of you guys to watch the first episode, I think before the last time we recorded the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the big pull of the show is it's supposed to explore like the dark side of the entertainment industry. What I didn't know was it actually pulled from a lot of real things that happen in real life. So
Yeah.
one of my buddies had texted me about this. He's generally he hates cutesy anime, but we like grew up watching anime together in high school. So I tell him just like give the show a shot, see what you like, see if you like it. He binges the whole thing and he texts me after episode 6 like, hey man, you gotta watch 6. Like this is contention for like one of like the hardest hitting episodes I've seen in anime in a while. And I was like, oh, all right, I wasn't expecting Oshinoko to go off the rails this soon. So I watched the episode and I get to the end and he was 100% right. This hit real hard. This is one of those few episodes where there's a suicide warning, but they were kind enough to put it at the end of the episode, not at the beginning. It was really rough, and it is a direct mirror to something that actually did happen in Japan. I think in 2018, where an actress playing herself on a reality show was bullied so hard on Twitter that she killed herself.
Damn.
So to see them like tackle a real thing that does happen to entertainers in the industry and just be very like raw about it and tell you directly to your face, like there'll be characters speculating, like, as long as you handle it okay, like it shouldn't be too bad, and then it'll cut away to like the character who's going through it, and you just see like the personal hell that she's experiencing when the whole internet tries to cancel her over something was out of her control. So very interesting. I'm loving the show so far. They keep pulling I don't know how to describe it, but it's like if you have the ending song play just before the credits start to roll and it plays a certain way, it just builds up the hype at the end of the episode. I know Hunter x Hunter did this for like all of its endings, where you kind of know the episode's about to end and it can turn any scene into just being very exciting. And they've been playing it apart in the last couple episodes. So it's the exact opposite of how I like about Vinland Saga, where with this show, like the ending's coming and then they build up for a cool stop point. Whereas with Vinland Saga, it's just like how fucking dare you end the episode there. Anyway, and then the last anime, I got kind of tricked into watch this one against my will. This one's a Hulu exclusive. It's called Tengoku Daimakyo. I only watched episode 1, and there's not a lot to go off, but the best way I can describe it is Last of Us meets Promised Neverland.
Wait. This is the one we were talking about on Sunday, Tyler.
Yeah.
That Val and I wanted to pick up.
The one with the girl with the cool gun.
Yeah, this is the laser.
Yes,
Tyler, bro. This is
same
Heavenly
one.
Delusion. This is.
Oh, is that what
girl
the
who
English
melted-
title is?
Yeah, this is the girl who melted the lamppost with the laser
Yes.
gun.
Yeah, that happens.
Val and I. If Val and I had time for like 2 or 3 more shows, this would absolutely be one of them.
Yeah, so I watched episode 1. Very interesting, very intriguing, pretty unique concept.
Yep.
I do want to watch more of it. I am gonna watch it in my Tier Eternity spot before doing summertime rendering. But we'll see if I can catch up. The only problem I have with it is it's Hulu exclusive, so you're stuck with closed captions. And like it's really annoying because the first episode they go through the whole thing where like for the first 10 minutes, like it's a boy and a girl traveling. The first 10 minutes you don't know the boy's name, and for the next 10 minutes you don't know the girl's name. So the closed captions keep having to remind you, like, oh, Maru's talking, and then it's like girl responds. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't need to know this. Like, just give me normal subtitles, please. Like, it's the same reason I didn't watch Tokyo Revengers season 2, because Hulu just has shit subtitles.
We can talk about like High Dive versus Crunchyroll all we want, but Hulu just swoops in and is like, duh, no, I'm just gonna ruin it.
But like they also have the potential for normal subtitles. Like when Bleach had it, they had normal subtitles. I don't know what the
Bleach
deal
has
is.
the money.
I just wish Disney would put it on Disney Plus like they do in the rest of the world, where Disney Plus has normal subtitles. Anyway, enough of that. No more anime. Let's talk about animation, because since the last time we recorded, I finally sat down and watched Spider-Verse.
It has finally happened.
And I'm in a weird spot with this because you guys are 100% right. About 5 minutes into the movie, I stopped noticing the choppy frame rate, and I noticed the appeal of having only impact frames, especially when characters talk, because the position of their mouths very clearly mimics what it looks like when characters are talking in a comic book. So now I sort of get that appeal. The problem is all it took was me going back and watching any footage after seeing the movie to think that the clips look like anus when I'm not sitting there stuck rendering my brain in 14 frames per second. So I have a weird love-hate relationship with the look of it. When you're actually watching the movie, it looks great. When you're not sitting down for an hour to watch it, I still think it looks mega jank. But I do appreciate the style they were going for, and I understand now. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I'm going to do anything in my power to have Val and I go watch this movie next week if we can.
Yeah, my other friend was talking about it, and I'm just like, I do want to see it in theaters. I do not want to see it on opening week.
No,
I
would rather do a week
fans
night.
on an opening week.
Never.
But yeah,
I am looking forward to it too.
I'm going to see Spider-Verse 2 in theaters.
Yep.
Didn't think I'd say that sentence out loud ever.
Gotta do it.
All right. And the next one was a movie that we all watched together.
Yeah.
So we saw George Lucas's classic, American Graffiti.
I wonder if anyone made it to this point in the podcast is like, what?
Yeah, what the fuck are they
What
talking
did you just
about?
say?
They didn't say Star Wars. What do we want to talk about it with American Graffiti?
I mean,
it's a movie.
It's a movie that was made.
We all recognize that there are it's definitely a sign of the times. There's definitely a couple moments that were like, ooh, that was a little
you can't say that in the current year.
A little uncomfortable.
It was a little uncomfortable.
But it's still a pretty solidly made movie, I would say.
Yeah, I would say as a period piece, it does an amazing job. Like it sells you 100% on the era that they're in,
Yeah.
and I love it for that. Um, but I'll put it this way: if you describe a story as a coming of age story, I don't inherently view that as a positive thing. Usually, it just means we have an immature protagonist who's going to learn a lesson by the end of the movie. Is all you're telling me with that. And that does sort of to a certain degree explain what American Graffiti is all about. It's about this kid just having one wild night and learning from it. And by one kid, I mean like five of them.
A lot of learning, a lot
No,
of dumb kids learning.
it's literally just like you said, Freeman. It's super bad.
It's. I told my parents this. They're like, no, no, it's not. My dad paused for a second. He's like, maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little more, maybe a little bit.
Like I didn't like I was making the joke. I forget what his name is. Terry. I was calling him McLovin at the beginning of the movie, and little did I realize at the end, like he was actually like McLovin is might be literally copying this character.
You think?
Oh yeah, definitely at this point.
I would say, yeah.
I don't know. The one thing I did truly love about this movie is just seeing the cars of the era.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there was a
Those
lot of nice
cars
stuff.
were so beautiful.
There were vehicles for sure.
There were vehicles for sure.
No,
this
there
guy.
was some pretty crazy cars that I completely agree.
Yeah.
That was cool. But yeah,
Alright.
it was we got it out of the way because of that movie poster of Val and I's that we've mentioned before.
The 100 classic movies.
Yeah. And I don't know if I would have put this movie on that poster if I was making the poster, but you know,
I mean, it's not necessarily a question of whether it's a good movie, but I think it's like cinematic significance.
Oh, sure, but I mean that I also feel like you could find 100 movies with more cinematic significance.
Probably, but I don't know how many movies you'd find that are like this. Like, especially in more modern times, you don't see movies meander like this.
Yes, also true. And then
Oh,
yeah, Freeman, you got one more.
Then I had the next one. Yeah. So I'm now on the trend of just watching movies that are loosely based on true historical events. And I went and watched Bohemian Rhapsody, and I love movies with music in them, especially when I already know and love all of the songs in the movie because I'm a pretty big Queen fan. So this movie was very, very good. I have not seen Rami Malek act in anything outside of Mr. Robot, and I think was Quantum Solace. He's the villain.
Yes.
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 No, wait.
I haven't.
Rami
Or no.
Malek?
Oh no, sorry.
No.
No,
What did I
time to
say?
die.
No Time to
No
Die.
Time to Die. Sorry, I forget. Either way, I haven't seen him in too much stuff. So seeing him as Freddie Mercury was pretty wild. He was very good in this movie. I really loved it. Them recreating the entire Live Aid concert, like pretty much shot for shot, was really cool. Overall, great movie.
I've
Highly recommend.
heard good things.
Yeah, it's a good watch, especially if you just like movies with good music.
All right, I'll pop through some of my few things. I actually had Friday off before Memorial Day, and I was like, you know what? I want to go see a movie, and I would have chosen Air, that Air Jordan, the Nike Air Jordan movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would have totally done that if I could have. But it's already not in theaters, so I actually went and solo saw the Mario movie. Cause I was like, you know what? Forget it. I just want to go see this movie. I'm interested to see how it plays out, and it was pretty solid. I'm still sad that it kicked the D&D movie out for this, but you know, for all the shit that Illumination gets for having pretty generic movies, and having the Minions thing kind of be really, really run into the dirt.
Yeah.
This movie's fine. I mean, obviously there's a ton of nostalgia pandering, but I'm not gonna lie, seeing cool things like the pipes or power-ups on screen from Mario is, even for someone who really hasn't played the Mario games, was still a cool experience.
I do have one question for you though.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the voice cast?
So, it's fine. I think it would have been just as good, if not better, for, you know, Mario himself, the guy who plays Mario, to come back and do the voice. I think that would have been much more respectful. But at the same time, they kind of I wonder if this was in relation to the backlash, but there is a scene in the movie where they address that they're doing super Italian accents, and then they
Yes.
make a joke out of it, and they're like, haha, imagine if we actually sounded like that. We really played it up for the TV, didn't we? I guess, I mean, I could see doing that for some reason, but I don't know. It still felt weird, but it at least in universe was enough of a haha, they get it. They're at least letting it get away, you know? Like
Yeah.
they're at least not making it a huge thing. They're addressing it instead of just being like, why does Mario sound like that?
Mm.
Yeah, I ended up being pretty fine with Chris Pratt's performance. I don't know why they just picked like his worst lines for the first
They
trailer.
legitimately really did that. When he gets into the Mushroom Kingdom is like one of the worst, and then as soon as you're immersed in it for more than 30 seconds, like before he even gets to the Mushroom Kingdom, you're already fine with it.
Yeah, he was fine. Like arguably the only casting decision I didn't like was Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. I think he was like the only. I just straight up didn't like him as Donkey Kong.
You weirdly, yeah, you don't really. You also don't see, like, I don't get what Seth Rogen brought to the role. You know,
He was just so whatever, and it almost just didn't feel like Donkey Kong.
You know, it's funny. This is gonna sound weird, but Seth Rogen is like has been around for long enough now, and when the whole movie is like, Donkey Kong, you're such a kid, you're such an overzealous child, like really playing it up, like being aggressive and everything, and then you hear, oh, I'm Seth Rogen, like it's not that bad, but you know, like hearing Seth Rogen be like, I'm like the dumb child, super buff Donkey Kong is a little disconnect. But other than that, yeah, it's good. The animation is good. It looks like it's a great looking movie. This is the kind of movie I would take Henry to see. It's super pretty.
Got to start him
It
young.
is what it was made for.
There's some funny jokes. There's a lot of callbacks. Obviously, every single piece of music is some kind of remixed Mario theme.
There was so much. Like there's one sequence where they're running and it jumps between like 3 different power ups and 3 different game themes, and I was like in the theater, I'm like, they got to be kidding me. They're rapid firing them at us.
I will say there are sequences where they fake 2D it, where they like turn that, like Tyler, they're like following the characters around and then they very deliberately like do a side scrolling section.
Oh, those were so good.
Those were pretty well done. They were pretty organic. They weren't too long. I will say Charlie Day as Luigi was actually fine. I know that everyone kind of talked about Chris Pratt, but Charlie Day also is not like known for his Italian accent. So like hearing him just be Luigi and kind of do the scaredy guy Luigi was fine. Honestly, one of the other weird casting things, like he didn't do bad, but like Jack Black as Bowser, I don't
I
know.
thought he was fine.
He was fine, but like
I just can't stand the song.
the song is the song is what I'm talking about. Like the song really
Why does everybody love the song?
no
Because people are brain dead.
yeah the
Like, I'm
song
more than
isn't even like,
positive.
you know what's funny? The song isn't even really much of anything. He just goes peaches, 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 peaches,
That's it.
like that's it. And then he's like, I love you, and there's like no other lyrics. There's-
Fucking hate it.
Yeah, but a lot of the stuff, like the power ups, they're pretty creative with the power ups. The animations, like I said, is super fluid, and the story's fine. But speaking of fine, though, more than fine. Friedman mentioned Summertime Render already, but I'm pretty sure that Val and I only finished that show. It's been so long since the last time we recorded.
I didn't know you guys finished it.
Oh, I thought we
You're
told
still
you.
stuck on it.
No, we finished.
Oh,
We
would
powered
you
through. Summertime Render is a really good show that I wish hadn't been ruined by being in Disney jail. This is the strongest recommend I can give to Tyler, famous hater of time travel stories, a time travel-esque story. Time travel with well-defined rules is really well done. This is a great mystery.
But it's time travel.
With rules.
All right. Well, it's coming up for me, so I'll give you a second opinion, Tyler.
All right.
Although I strongly suspect it's going to be the same opinion that
I
Tim has.
really think this is such a strong, like, this went so many places. It's one of those mysteries where you're like Demon Slayer. What's the mystery? Obviously, it's not a mystery, but like Demon Slayer, you're just waiting to get to the end. This is like, There are so many questions, and it's one of those good mysteries where every question has a good answer and then immediately leads to another question that's a good question.
Mm.
It's never got that sensation of like, oh, that's what that was.
I'll
So
think
yeah, Summertime
about it.
Render definitely worth picking up just to save it from Disney jail, because I was just looking at it on Mal, and the amount of people who have this as plan to watch Friedman
It's
outweighs literally
immense.
every other category.
Yeah.
And then the last thing on my list, John Mulaney has been a comedian that I've watched on and off, watched a lot of his specials and stuff, and I've found him really funny for years. And obviously, anyone who knows anything about him knows he went into rehab for a couple of years. He got divorced. He came out with a new Netflix special called Baby J, and he doesn't really talk about his relationship at all, but he talks about getting an intervention from his friends and going to rehab, and he's just very open about it. And he like, this is serious stuff, like drug addiction, and he makes it entertaining while also really opening up about himself.
Damn.
I thought it was a really, really well done comedy special. Val and I laughed and had a good time, like, connecting with him as a person. So yeah, I would, if you've ever been a fan of his stuff. I don't know like I said, he doesn't really talk about his divorce. He mentions it and then immediately is like, but drugs though.
So yeah,
Like, you wouldn't think telling a story about how you're so desperate for money to buy drugs that you, and like find loopholes around your own accountant that you have blocking you from buying drugs, but he somehow makes it funny. But yeah, it's on Netflix. That there's not much else to say. It's just it's a good time.
oh, all right.
Tyler, you're up.
Oh, it is me. Yeah, I'm gonna go through all these because we're already running kind of late-ish. I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It was pretty good. I'd say it's as good as the other two. The soundtrack was also a banger and like a little more current. And when I mean a little more current, they started venturing into like the 90s, early 2000s.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it was pretty good. It felt more like a side story than like anything super major, but it was still like very good though. If you like the other two, I highly recommend this one. Um,
Maybe if Val and I can find a babysitter for long enough, we can like double feature, buy tickets for
Were there
buy
any other
tickets
yeah,
for
like
right.
Spider-Man and just walk into a showing of this.
were there any other
I
like
mean,
larger Marvel implications with this movie, or is it kind of like as long as you've been watching Guardians, you can jump in with three?
yeah, yeah. You don't really. I guess the only thing is the
Endgame.
only thing that the implication is
Yeah.
Gamora's thing, and that's it.
From Endgame,
Gotcha.
Um,
right?
huh?
From Endgame and Infinity War.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the honestly that's the only thing. If you know that, then you can go into the story like you know without having to. Which I know a lot of the other things, like a lot of the other like Marvel stuff, you have to know, but like Guardians not at all. Like you
It's
you can
Gotcha.
go in this with you know
I
as long as you
promise.
watch
Yeah.
Endgame and the other two, you're
Yeah,
fine.
I was curious if there's like because I know they weren't that involved in Love and Thunder, but if there's like anything in there that mattered.
No, Love and like
If you
literally like
watch Love
Love
and
and
Thunder, you know that's not a
Yeah,
problem.
I
Like
haven't seen Love and Thunder, so
yeah.
I figured.
they do nothing. Honestly,
They literally do nothing. I almost feel like that was meant to be like a thing, and they were like, "Fuck
I
it."
know. It's honestly disappointing because at the end of Endgame they're like, "Yeah, Thor and the Guardians." And then all Love and Thunder does is say, "Bye, Guardians." Like, we're going to
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
separate
yeah, he like
instantly.
dishes them at the beginning of the movie, right?
yeah,
Literally within 10, 15 minutes, and they don't have many lines together.
yeah. It was kind of a
He
waste,
just
honestly.
mostly gets some dialogue from Chris Pratt, and then they walk away.
Yeah.
The only thing, not to go on a huge Marvel tangent, I promise, but it was funny, like Memorial Day weekend, hanging out with family and stuff, and talking to Val's sister, who is the biggest mark for Marvel. Like, she watches all the TV shows, watches all the movies, and even she's like, "Yeah, I'm kind of losing interest in this."
Jeez, about
Like,
fucking time.
but all the headlines around Guardians 3 are like, "Is Marvel back?" And it's like, no.
No,
People just like
no.
the Guardians because the first two movies were good and they are still emotionally connected to the Guardians. Who the fuck cares about the Eternals? That is my answer every time. No one.
I mean, but
No.
we had that discussion, Tim. It's like no one knew who the Guardians were either.
But it was still in the area where we were receptive to new ones. We were like, okay, Iron Man, Captain America, these went well. Guardians of the Galaxy, this seems funny and cool. And now it's like every team up movie is just trying to recreate the Guardians or is trying something else that's not as successful.
I blame Guardians for that though.
In what?
Like they did it so well that no one else
They did
really,
it so
like,
well that
recreated.
everybody started copying off of them.
Oh, yeah.
Like Disney struck gold with James Gunn, and even after firing him, they brought him back again.
Not for nothing, I will say, it definitely feels like a trend ever since Guardians and like Thor Ragnarok, where every big movie now, especially in Marvel, is like, haha, quirky dialogue, haha,
Yeah,
so
quirky
funny.
dialogue, and
Yep.
we have to have like a classic rock soundtrack.
Yeah, it's kind of getting old, guys. Like those two struck gold, but now it feels like everything is just taking that. Like Tyler,
Yeah.
you put on the when we were hanging out the other night, you put on the Guardians playlist on Spotify with like all of
Yeah.
them, and we were just like, are all these songs in the Guardians movies? And it's like, or how many movies are using, like you said, classic rock now? Like I'm pretty, even Super Mario movie, I think like 2 times played like
Oh,
classic
they had a ton.
rock.
In
Yeah,
fact, they played "Take on Me" for the Donkey Kong
Yes.
Village theme. I was like, "What the fuck are you smoking?"
Yes, for the
Yeah.
racing through the you're totally right, Freeman. That was the moment that made me think of that. It was either Mario themes or classic rock.
Yeah,
Yeah, like it's a weird formula, and that's why that's honestly why I'm tired with a lot of Marvel movies. And like I mostly just give them passing grades and be like, okay, whatever, like this was just okay.
I want to see, the easy answer is I want to see Guardians. I don't even know what's coming, and I don't think I care.
Oh, I definitely don't give a fuck. I thought
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't even think I talked about it last time.
No, you didn't.
But I did see Quantum Mania, and Michelle and I were just like, this was just okay. Honestly, don't think
But
that Kang the
Tyler,
Conqueror
Kang is
is that cool.
coming.
I don't give a shit. I never gave a shit about Kang.
Yeah, the only Kang I care about is Danky Kang.
Exactly.
Oh my god, the Marvels is what's coming next. Man, that is not going to do well.
I saw that trailer in the theater, and I was just like, I don't really want to see it. And then Michelle's like, I might see it. I'm like, all right.
Why?
Because she likes. Well, that's the thing. I don't know. She's weird. She likes seeing some things, but not everything. It sounds like. But like she said, she might watch this. I don't know.
Oh wait, Tyler. Actually, the one other
What?
thing.
What?
No, 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 no,
This is
no.
my spot. This
Yeah,
is my
no,
spot.
no. It's for
No,
real.
we're
It's
stalling.
about Marvel stuff. Blade is still coming someday.
I don't give a shit about Blade.
What?
I never liked Blade.
Oh,
There, I said it.
damn.
Yeah,
I know it's a
but
hot take, but never liked Blade. Wesley
will
Snipes is not a good actor. Changed my mind.
maybe
I will
they do
say
Blade well.
also, do we even know how all of this is going to play out with the writer's strike?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
because
Wasn't
also
there, wasn't there
don't
that
give-
headline that like Deadpool 3 is filming, but Ryan Reynolds is legally required to not improvise because he's like in the Writers Guild or something?
Oh, that's lame.
Yes,
Something like
exactly. And it's like
that
cool,
is
Deadpool 3
important
losing-
news that we should have covered.
Yeah, but we're a
Oh,
gaming
writer's
podcast.
strike?
We only
Yeah.
talk about unimportant shit.
Damn.
So why don't you talk about your next movie, Tyler?
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, exactly. We're fucking running late. So unexpectedly, I was the other day, and they were like, "We want to watch this movie," and I'm like, "All right." They're like, "Do you want to watch it with us?" I'm like, "What is it?" They're like, "It's The Covenant," and I'm like, "What?" And the whole title is really funny. I should have looked it up, but it's called Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. I'm like,
Whoa.
Guy Ritchie? Are you fucking serious? And I was like, I don't want to watch a Guy Ritchie movie. I'm like, I hated all of them that I've watched. And they're like, I don't know, it's just a movie that we wanted. And they're like, well, what did he do? And I'm like, he did Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I couldn't even get through that movie. I'm like, he did Wrath of Man, Dad. He completely forgot that we watched that movie together.
Yo, Snatch.
He's like, oh yeah, it wasn't that great, was it? I'm like, no, it wasn't.
Yo, but Snatch though.
I didn't even watch that one, but like,
You should. It's so good.
fuck that, dude. I'm not watching
What?
any of these movies.
No, Tyler, please. Snatch is
No,
legitimately hilarious.
I
Come
refuse.
on,
Nope.
Tyler.
I
no.
gave him
I'm
3
not even
chances
kidding.
before this
Oh
movie.
my
I don't
God.
care. I gave him 3 chances, he blew it.
Tyler, no, it's so funny.
That's too bad.
It's
Which is
so
actually
good.
funny you say that because The Covenant is not funny, and I would say this is probably objectively his best movie. If you look at Letterboxd him, I gave this a 4.
Yeah, I know you did. I saw that.
It's really fucking good.
How
It's
was
like
how was
really
Jake
good.
Gyllenhaal in it?
It has Jake Gyllenhaal in it that progressively like goes from like this really bland like acting to like dang, he kind of acts his ass off like at some points in this movie. It's pretty good. It's pretty good,
Whatever.
and like I learned that this movie flopped, but at the same time, it is his highest rated movie that he has ever had in his career.
Really?
Yes.
Highest rated according. Oh yeah, even yeah. Okay. It is. Yeah, you know what his second is, Tyler?
Is it Lock, Stock, or
No,
the
it's fucking
Snatch?
Snatch.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care.
No, come. It's
No,
so funny.
I don't care. I'm not, dude. I don't like guy like literally the way he directs his movies. I just don't like it. I don't like it. And like you can kind of tell that he has the same kind of style in this one, but he was a lot more serious. Like there's nothing funny about this movie at all. It's very serious. I don't know. Like it's just the tone of his movies. Like the like I don't know. There, it's not. It's like Uwe Boll if he was good.
But like Benicio del Toro's in it.
All right,
He's
step away for a second
he's
when you
really
guys are going
funny.
off about this. We'll be right back.
No, man.
Brad
I'll
Pitt's in
think
it.
about it, but I don't want to give him another chance.
I get it. What if I'm just watching it when you come over for study night on Thursday and I'm just like and you're just like, I'll just watch some of this, I guess.
I'll be like, all right, I guess I'm gonna go study because that's what I'm here for. God damn it.
Well, you can talk about this because this is Freeman. Freeman's never gonna read this.
Oh yeah, but yeah, no. Tim. Before I move on, I think you might like war movies here and there.
Yeah.
You might
No, I
like
would
this.
watch. Yeah, The Covenant looked like. Yeah, I've heard it's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, this next one, actually, these next 2 things, I spelled the second one incorrectly.
Oh yeah, yeah, books. Books
But
that
I
I've
got
read.
2. See, you can't say that I don't take your recommendations, because these next 2 were your
I
recommendations.
never said you don't. I'm just sad that you're not gonna watch Snatch. I didn't say you don't take my
Fine.
recommendations.
Fair, fair, fair. So Tim's like, you should read these other Jim Butcher books because we're Dresden
Because Dresden's
boys.
good.
And I'm like, all right, like I guess I'm not reading anything. I guess I should just read it. So Tim got me the first book in the Codex Alera series
Woo.
called Furies of Calderon, and I thought this book was alright.
Yep, that's fine.
It was alright. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it either. There are some like mustache twirling bad guy shit in here that I wasn't a big fan of. There are some scenes that were good. The battle scene at the very end was pretty good.
What about the pit when he gets dumped in the pit? With
Oh
the
yeah, I think that was the best scene in the entire book.
Yeah.
That was in fact the best scene. And honestly, it was really hard to top that. From any standpoint, like Tavi's like whole POV was just very fun,
Mm-hmm.
and the other ones I was just like I just could give 2 shits about all these people.
Yeah. No, I get
I
it.
just don't care. And like
Tavi is always the most interesting character in the series. That doesn't stop.
yeah, and what I also thought was kind of interesting too was like in this world full of like magic, like only the people who like do the Pokemon shit, like for reference, right, listeners, there's a war that is brewing between these like 2 areas, and they both have like different sets of like well, one uses magic, the other literally catches and like uses animals to fight with them. Um, I feel like on Tavi's side, like that side, it's like, oh, everybody knows magic. Everybody ties themselves to a spirit thing, but then how come like no one uses them during the battle?
So I would assume that the whole thing there is that some like we have the perspective of Tavi, who has none, and then two people who are like known for being uber badasses with theirs. So like everybody else is just kind of a jobber.
I still find that very strange because they
Totally.
literally have a whole division full of like I'm gonna say windrunners,
Yeah.
and that's a reference from another book, but I can almost guarantee that like Brandon Sanderson took inspiration from this because these guys did it first, or Jim Butcher did it first.
Yeah.
But I digress. Like how come they have a whole division of these air guys, but they don't have like yeah, they have some water benders for healing, but like that's kind of it. Like they don't have a lot of like these other guys for combat, and I just thought it was very strange. Like I was looking forward to like, oh, these earth guys are gonna be throwing fucking rocks at these fucking birds and shit. Like that
All
didn't
I'm gonna
happen.
say is that improves as time goes on.
Okay. I honestly don't know if I'm gonna read the other books
That's
though.
fine.
However, I am gonna continue reading the other book that was recommended to me
Yeah.
by Tim and Jim Butcher wrote, and that's Aeronauts Windless.
Yep.
That's a fucking banger out of 10.
Yep.
Banger. Like from cover to cover, I was interested.
Yep.
And apparently the sequel comes out this year.
So I was gonna say, Tyler, as of 5 before the weekend on Jim Butcher's website, check out Gizmodo for an excerpt of the Olympian affair. So we're at the point where they're
shit.
starting to send out snippets of the book.
Let's go. Yeah, man, I'm for it. I'm for it. I'm trying to get Michelle to read it.
That'll be the first book I read since Pride Dresden came out.
Since
Battleground.
yeah, Battleground.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's worth a read. It's definitely worth it for people who are like into Sanderson books too. Like it's kind of like that. Like it's got that like interesting like that hard fantasy lore, right? Like I really enjoyed the explanation and everything about like how the airships worked and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It
The
was
tech
nice.
is really cool.
Yeah, a lot of it is really cool. I honestly think that's like some of Butcher's like best writing, like hands down. And then I saved the best part for last. I played and beat Jedi
You
Survivor.
won.
Let's
Wow.
go.
Yeah, that game was fucking good. game, man, I cried
Whoa.
a few times.
Whoa.
Dude, it's serious. It's serious. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I also did this.
Damn, sneaking in one more under the wire.
Wait, hold on. I
Yeah.
have one more question about Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
How good was the Darth Vader sequences?
Yeah.
Oh, the Darth Vader sequence is pretty good. Also, it was really sad because something happens during that whole thing.
Oh no.
But I'm not gonna spoil anything because Tim needs to play that game.
I will. I will play it.
It's so good. Like I like it a lot. If any of you guys are listening who haven't played it already and you've been watching and you've watched Tim's Let's Play. So I watched Tim's Let's Play of Fallen Order and I followed the story through that and I was like, damn, this is pretty good. I was like, I'm pretty excited for Survivor. And then Michelle and I, played through Survivor and we were just like, damn, this was like top notch.
Damn.
Like so far, probably like my favorite story so far this year
Wow.
for a game. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit biased for Resident Evil 4, especially since I beat that
You
game like
know.
4 5 times already. But hey, who's counting really? Who's counting? Um, but yeah, Survivor is really good. I definitely recommend giving it a try. There's a lot of game like the characters are all really good and like I think I even said it to Tim, but like these games, the Survivor Fallen Order game, probably my favorite Star Wars story so far.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's how I feel about it. Which I also finished Star Wars Rebels recently too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which progressively got very good. I got introduced to Thrawn that everybody loves, and I'm like, all right, I
Big
get
cube.
why everybody likes Thrawn now. Actually, it's making me so much, Tim. I don't know if you probably read those books, the ones
I
that he
read the
got like,
originals.
yeah,
I did
like
not read the
those.
new ones.
I didn't read the new ones. I heard there were new ones, but I heard the originals were obviously very good.
When the but we're gonna go real old school here. Before the prequels even existed, the Thrawn books were the things that people wanted new Star Wars movies to be made off of.
Damn. Yeah, I heard they came out. What was it 91?
Yup.
Holy
Holy
shit.
shit! Souls
They
of
are
Yeah.
the old shit.
Yeah, I'm like honestly thinking about reading them, and like everybody knows this, but obviously they're not canon. But I was like, yo, if they're good enough for people to revere them for so long,
They're
I'm like,
pretty good.
yeah, I'm thinking of at least just giving it a try.
Yeah, the oh man, it's Last Command, Heir to the Empire, oh my god, something Fleet. I feel embarrassed that I'm forgetting the middle one. And then Last Command.
Hmm.
Fantastic series of books.
Yeah, I might add them to the never-ending list.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's oh yeah, and then I to say whether or not Rebels was good, I did think Rebels was good. It started off kind of shaky, but towards the end it was pretty good. I don't know if I would recommend it to you, Tim. Not like Clone Wars. Like I think Clone Wars is like pretty like fucking good.
You've
Um,
said.
fucking Clone Wars is amazing. But yeah, like I will say though, there are things that are in Rebels. Like if for you guys, whoever's gonna watch Ahsoka when that comes out, there's definitely gonna be stuff from Rebels that is gonna be in Ahsoka.
I can't wait for everyone to flip out knowing about this and me just sitting here like, who the fuck are these people?
Who's
Nah, it's
Blue
fine.
Man?
I'll tell you who
Who's Blue
everybody
Man?
is. Yo, who's Blue
Yes,
Man, dude?
for
Who's
real.
Blue Man? Who's Blue Man? Yo, who? What do you mean? Who is this person who's quote a Mandalorian? Right? Like, who's Ezra Bridger? Right? Like
Urza.
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 Sorry,
Urza.
Urza. Like Urza.
No, yeah. But yeah, that's about it. I recommend it if you got like whoever wants to watch Rebels. I do recommend Rebels.
Tyler coming in with the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, out of nowhere, dude. That's what happens when your girlfriend's like a huge fanatic and she's like, you gotta watch these things. But then turns out like it's pretty good. But that's all I have though.
That's
You know, I
it.
gotta keep the Star Wars content going for this channel. Someone's gotta do it,
Gotta
Tim.
gotta keep the Empire alive.
Yeah, someone's gotta keep the Timpire alive, Jesus. God. Is that it?
Speaking of
Is
being
that
alive, we're gonna end the podcast here because we just hit the 2 hour mark, so we're gonna stop.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so I don't know when we'll be back. We always say 2 weeks, and then it's like a month and a half. So
Honestly, I can only see myself studying and prepping for this test for like one more month before I just have to pull the trigger and take it. And at that point, I'm done studying. I can be available again. So,
I feel like I should be doing that too. I need to start picking up the pace.
all right. So,
I
listeners,
just
you
don't want to
might.
do this anymore. So like,
Oh, goddamn! Don't say the quiet part out loud, Tim.
Yeah, right? Shit.
Yeah. So June might be a little quiet, but I have a feeling we'll be coming back strong for our 2 episodes a month back, all the way in July.
Yeah, right.
all right. But until next time, we will return.
Somehow the boys will return.
Somehow they returned. But until next time, thank you all so much for listening. My name is Timpedia,
I'm Friedman.
Just Tyler.
and we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.